Hello and welcome back to the Shed Geek Podcast. Here's a message from our studio sponsor. Let's be real. Running a shed business today isn't just about building great sheds. The industry is changing fast. We're all feeling the squeeze, competing for fewer buyers while expectations keep climbing. And yet, I hear from many of you that you are still juggling spreadsheets, clunky software, or disconnected systems. You're spending more time managing chaos than actually growing your business. That's why I want to talk to you about our studio sponsor, ShedPro. If you're not already using them, I really think you should check them out. ShedPro combines your 3D configurator, point of sale, RTO contracts, inventory, deliveries, and dealer tools all in one platform. They even integrate cleanly into our Shed Geek marketing solutions. From website lead to final delivery, you can quote, contract, collect payment, and schedule delivery in one clean workflow. No more double entries, no more back and forth chaos. Quoting is faster, orders are cleaner. And instead of chasing down paperwork, you're actually running your business. And if you mention Shed Geek, you'll get 25% off all setup fees. Check it out at shedpro.co/ShedGeek. Thank you, ShedPro, for being our studio sponsor, and honestly, for building something that helps the industry. Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Shed Geek Podcast. Thank you so much for listening in today. We are here in Millersburg, Ohio, so if we missed you on this trip, watch us on Facebook, a lot of times on the Shed Geek Facebook page and the Shed Sales Professionals page. We will let people know where we're traveling. We want to talk to you. We want to hear your story. We want to know about your shed story. We want to know about your playset story. We want to know about your hunting blind story, your carport story. So give us a call at 618-309-3648 or message us at info at shedgeek.com. Welcome back, a familiar face and an old friend of mine, Mr. David Hershberger from Hershberger Lawn Structures. David, I think people know who you are, but just in case, give us a little bit of detail about who you are and what you do and how you find yourself here in Shed Geek world.
Sure. So, David Hershberger, and I in Dutch language, you would say you got yanked up. We got pulled up in the playset industry. My dad started the business 33 years ago. Wow. So anyway, this is what I've done and known. And I met Shannon when he worked for a rent-to-own company.
That's right.
And our friendship has grown over the years. And so that's how I ended up in the Shed Geek world. And I guess my dad's to blame as to why I'm in the playset world.
Been here a few times over the years. Even got invited to speak at your dealer event, which I got an opportunity to see some of the things that you guys do, actually go through the assembly process and just meet so many of your dealers, which is really interesting because you get this shed dealers, carport dealers, playset dealers, hunting blind dealers, and a mixture of each of those things, which just seems to be a common thing that we're seeing in the industry now, where people are diversifying, Cord, wanting to offer different products.
Yeah, big time. I mean, I think we've been beating this drum really probably for the past year, but this fall especially, as we start thinking about what that product mix is going into 2026, the sales season here in the spring. And, I know we've said it, but it continues to be true today, and it will be truer tomorrow and the day after. For the dealers out there, the product mix, what you're offering, what that ultimate value proposition is to the consumer is evolving. And not to mention the industry itself is evolving, right, and maturing. And the margins are getting tighter because people are operating at a higher level, and then you're operating on price, and you're competing with the guy down the street. And more, the dealers who succeed are the dealers who are offering the solutions for the entire property, right? Anything outside of that home.
Right.
If you need a property solution, I know we've always said backyards, which is, of course,
Right.
Most of the time where a playset goes into the backyard, but a property solution, a hunting blind solution, which, by the way, they have absolutely Cadillac hunting blinds. If you're a hunter out there, hunting blinds that damp all of the. Your dad was actually telling me that he was taking business calls. Out hunting and waited
Why
for
not?
you got
to make money. Sometimes they can pay for it too.
That's right. And was on a business call and watched a doe walk out 20 yards in front of him.
Yep.
Was still just talking with a normal cadence.
Yep.
Ended his call in due time. Opened the window that doesn't make any noise.
That's right. That's right.
What is there? Is there like
call it the whisper track window?
The whisper track window.
Yep.
Opens the window, shoots the doe, harvests it. Said he took a few minutes to have a little bit of joy, but then he had another call to make. So he put the window back up, made the call, and then went down and obviously harvested the deer. But these I guess what I'm getting to is that is a property solution. Right. Whether or not it is directly in your backyard, directly for storage, like I know we're at the Shed Geeks, but even that concept is evolving, right? Like
absolutely. Well, it has to into these different products. And, the cool thing is like sheds are practical.
Yep.
Carports are practical.
Yep.
But play sets, hunting blinds, those are fun.
Yep.
You're selling fun. Right. And anybody who's selling fun has a joy about them whenever they go to work. I mean, you're selling something for kids and grandkids to play on. You're selling something for the, I'm not a big hunter. I hunted more whenever I was young, but you're selling something more for like a passion project, which is still fun. Like, let's be honest, like guys don't get to have fun very often. So deer hunting might be
when we play golf, and if we suck, then we're no good. Then we still didn't have fun.
Well, I'm not good at hunting or golf, David. Like, I better stick to what I know. But no, and one thing that we talked as we were uncovering the thoughts about this, and we've had you guys on the show before, but something that I failed to uncover before that I think's interesting for those who are listening is the margins.
Yep.
The margins on these things. Most folks bring in a whole plethora of consignment sheds, and they get whatever it is, 10, 20, 200 sheds on their lot. And then if you're not wholesaling them, average 10%. So you sell a $10,000 shed to make $10,000. We were sitting here talking, or to make $1,000. One of the things that we were talking about was the margins on these. So go through a little bit of that. And I just want to maybe we're getting on that too early. I think the listeners would find that interesting. So give us just some of your overall arching thoughts on that, because you spelled it out so well when we were asking you questions.
Yeah, so the long and short of it is basically with a shed, your salespeople are typically making a 10% commission. And probably where this actually hits home the most is when you have somebody that's trying to operate an actual backyard experience and they're running a shed lot as their business. This doesn't quite hit home as hard when you're talking about like corporate stores where the barn manufacturer is the actual sells the salesman is their employee. But when the salesman is the owner of the company, and they're selling sheds, they're making a 10% commission. It's typically what's there. There's some shed companies that are more. But with a playset, you're looking at a lot bigger markup. Typically in our poly playsets, we're running about a 60% markup on average. So that's not margin, that's markup. There's a difference there. And hopefully they know that. And then there's costs involved to get it there and so forth. There's also room in that yet to add for delivery and setup. So it's not capped there. I'm just giving you rough numbers.
Yeah,
those are not specifics, but ballparks, So yeah, you sell a $10,000 playset, you're walking home with a little more than $1,000, like you do with the shed.
Yeah.
Now there's going to be more work involved. You get to get out there, you get to set it up, and some of those types of things, but you also get paid for that. So, there's definitely a lot more money sitting in the playsets per sale than there is in the barn per sale, especially if you compare dollars to dollars.
Which means you don't have to necessarily try to think with the mindset of, I need to sell as many playsets as I sell sheds.
Right.
It's not as a in-demand product because of the practical use. It's more of a fun purchase.
Right.
But you can take the same amount of time that you're putting into a shed. You can put 4 times the amount into selling a playset and still come out just as good. So it's really about the customer acquisition. And whenever somebody comes in to purchase a shed, if they're doing it on a impulse, I like to get in here 15 minutes. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to know you. I don't want to be your friend. I want to get a shed. I know some people take longer. You know, you break out the honey buns and, you know, you get them a Dr. Pepper. Hey, sit down and talk to me. And you go through the process. Nothing wrong with being that professional, but a lot of, you know, shed folks will buy impulsively. You just got to spend a little bit more time acquiring that customer, but the payoff is so much more worth it.
Running a business means balancing constant daily demands with the pressure to keep growing. The workload, the decisions, responsibility, it never stops. Newfound Solutions is here to take some of that off your plate, giving you the tools and support to move forward with confidence. Have you always wanted to start your own rent-to-own company but don't quite know where to start? RTO Partners is here to help. Overwhelmed by all the moving pieces in running your own rent-to-own program? RTO Smart is a software that encompasses everything you need on one platform. Or leave the rent-to-own up to us and focus on what's more important to you. Newfound Rentals has you covered with traditional rent-to-own options for your customers. Shed Connect understands the complexity of the digital marketplace. We take the hassle out of online sales. Newfound Solutions, 4 powerful sub-brands, helping you succeed across every aspect of your business. Visit newfoundsolutions.com today and let us do the balancing so you don't have to.
In the shed world, so you know, the customer you're describing is that typical, what I call that 10 by 16 or that 12 by 16 customer that just wants that shed.
Right.
And I've seen that changing, where writing a shed order is not as simple as it used to be. There is companies out there that are that way, but there is a lot of customizations in the shed world that didn't used to exist 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
I mean, now we have finished out packages and we've got floorings and we've got this and we've got that. And all of a sudden, it actually takes quite a long time to close some of shed deals. And you actually, some of those customized sales, you have to be very intentional with that customer. You talked about getting out the honey buns or whatever, you know, to make them feel good. You have to do those things with a shed customer. And we used to be the people out there saying, you know, a shed customer, you don't have to feel that as much. And I've seen that change where the playset customer, what it takes to sell a playset, you have to feel them. This is personal. This is fun. This is their kids. This is, you know, this isn't their lawnmower. This isn't their chairs. This isn't their garden rake. It's different, but I've seen that thing change just a little bit with, especially this year, especially or last year and even the year prior, the amount of custom work out there that people were asking for in the shed industry was huge. It's only gone up.
Well, it's exciting for us because we see the quality. I mean, like I want to make sure we address and talk a little bit about the poly and things like that. But the coolest thing that we're able to talk about here is something we haven't done at Shed Geek yet, which is to open up that conversation for exclusive partnership. And we go back a long way as it is already. So it was a simple conversation in terms of figuring out the details of how to work together. But we're excited to announce that Shed Geek is partnering with Hershberger Lawn on Playmore and on Stryker to be the exclusive provider for those products. That doesn't mean we are taking over your dealer network. That means that we're trying to grow your dealer network. We're trying to get more people to sell your product. So we are welcoming phone calls. We're welcoming manufacturers opportunities that say, hey, we want to add another product line and we want to be able to help so maybe we're the manufacturer who wants to purchase these. Maybe we want to do a solid for our top 1, top 2, top 5 dealers. And we want to purchase some of these things and see how they perform. This is a wholesale model. Mm-hmm. This is skin in the game, which is something that I admire about the Northeast part of the country when it comes to sheds, because there's just a commitment to excellence, the white glove service that we talk about, like wanting to be able to understand rent to own at a higher capacity, as opposed to I own a car lot and sure, I'll sell some sheds. I don't think, David, if somebody's wanting to, sure, I'll sell your play sets, I don't think that's the right fit.
No, we won't sign those kind of dealers.
You want someone excited about it.
Right.
You're selling fun. You want someone who's gonna have fun with this and who's gonna like do what's necessary to move the product.
Right.
And that does not include, I'll sell you one if you want one. We want you to be very intentional.
Yes, that's right. Very intentional about selling a playset, being excited about fun. This is something that I believe in. This is something I think is important for kids. And yeah, as far as, dealerships, and we probably have leveled put the level a little higher than we had at one point in our business here of who we sign as dealers, that we're looking for a very specific type of dealer. So love to talk to you, talk to the Shed Geek guys, and we're happy to talk to you about getting into our network.
We're excited. We're excited enough that we want to become a dealer. So we were talking about that as we started to have this conversation. We're like, look, we may be your first guys because like we're bought in.
I think the quality of the dealer to me reflects the quality of the opportunity, right? Like, Playmore and Stryker, you're in a position where you can say, we require this quality of dealer, right? And that's a good thing. And the reason you're in that area is because of the quality of that opportunity. You said it so succinctly earlier when we were talking off air before we started the podcast. You were talking about a dealer who called you and was so excited because they had sold, 3 whatever it was, 3 sheds for, whatever it was, $8,500 a piece or whatever that price point was. And then they sold a playset and they made more money selling the playset than they did selling 3 sheds. And, to your point, that now takes a longer period of time in a lot of cases to sell a shed, and a lot of tire kickers and blah, blah, blah. But, it's the quality of the opportunity. It's the quality of the products themselves. And as we were kind of walking through this, obviously we talk about diversification and product mix and what you're offering your customers. But I think an undervalued piece of these play sets is the fact that they are, in a lot of ways, they're doing some of your lot marketing for you. They're very colorful, right? They're very nice. They're very colorful. And I'll just tell you, you can't drive by this location here at your place. Right. Or, I even called out to you that we had passed a couple of your locations
on the way, and you saw them
on the way. And why did I see them? Because they are the red and green and yellow in a sea of that millennial gray. That I think that's what they call it now, right? Like,
what it is?
Like whatever the color of McDonald's, the color of Dunkin' Donuts now, this like millennial gray that's everywhere. And like your products stick out and they demand attention. There's just a certain aspect of it that is not only fun, but is practical just for all of those purposes. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Right. So the simple word that I use for our products in that aspect is eye candy.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a good piece of candy, right?
Right.
Yeah. And who's going to come for the candy first? The kids.
That's right.
So the kids are going to come first. And so, 100%. Play sets are eye candy.
Your dad certainly made it, an impression the first time we did a podcast with him about the desire that he had, why he got into this. You could choose to get into anything. He said, I really love the family. You know, I really love the family structure. I really love to see kids playing and being happy. And like, he's just such a pleasant guy. First of all, I don't know what happened to you, David.
Yeah. I got the bad end.
You got the bad end. No, like honestly, you guys are cut from the same cloth. You guys love to see, you know, whenever we talk to you guys off the air, I mean, it goes beyond the job. And I appreciate that about you. It's what makes us excited here at Shed Geek to partner with you guys. Look, if you guys, first of all, if you want to know more about this, give us a call. Check it, you know, hey, info@Shed Geek. Call us, go on the website, go to the newsletter, click and fill out these lead forms. We want to put you in touch with David and his family. We really believe in what they do. I've been excited to work with them as a partner for a long time. I think they offer a quality product. I think that if you're a shed dealer in 2026, I'm not going to criticize anybody who says I'm only going to focus on selling sheds. I'm not.
Right.
Look, there's no strong arm here, but I also know that we travel across all the country, and I know that you're selling in the majority of these places, over 20 some states that you guys are in already, a multitude of dealers in both play sets and in hunting blinds. And you hear the same thing all the time. You know, like if I had more things to sell, or if I had more sheds to sell, or if I had more, and we hear the doomsday predictions. Like, I don't think that there's any reason to sound the alarm, but I think that there's all the more reason in 2026 to start diversifying your products. And this isn't just about sheds. This isn't just about play sets.
Right.
I mean, this isn't just about hunting blinds. I'm talking about a plethora of different things that you can be a backyard solution, you know, whenever you come in. And I think it's going to set you apart from your competition, but I just don't know anybody who's doing it better. And you sell a good product, you sell it at a good price, and the margins are really good. I want to make sure to make that clear. Yeah. The margins for you are really good. And if you're going to invest in yourself as a professional salesperson, there's no reason why you can't sell a play set and a hunting line the same way you can sell a shed. Not saying you're going to sell as many, just saying your margins are going to be good when you do sell them. So the effort is worth it, and the risk is worth it to invest in yourself.
This episode is brought to you by Shed Suite, the complete shed business management software. From inventory and quoting to e-commerce and delivery scheduling, Shed Suite keeps your whole operation running smoothly. Today, leading shed businesses are focusing on digital marketing and building their online presence because that's where the customers are. That's why Shed Suite now offers full-service marketing. Everything from ads, social media, and SEO to stunning websites, branding, video, and even photography. The best part? Your website pulls straight from your Shed Suite inventory. Update it once in Shed Suite, and it's live. No more managing two systems like with WordPress or WooCommerce. Ready to grow? Go to ShedSuiteServices.com to learn more and schedule a call. Let's grow together.
You know, your dad's passion for this really came out earlier whenever we were talking to him off air and talking to the two of you. But we were talking through, whenever a customer receives a shed delivery, right? That hauler comes and does a great job, right? Does a great job. Whether there's already a foundation or they're blocking it up or whatever, right? We obviously appreciate the haulers in a lot of ways. They keep this industry ticking. They're at the core of kind of what, and the customer service, right? The people who are there last. But whenever that shed is set, dropped, whatever you want to call it, it is in place. I'll tell you what, there is not a round of applause and excitement that rings out from the house, right? Like there's not people inside cheering it on. I mean, we probably know some haulers who give themselves a round of applause when they get one set, but
there's some that deserve it.
And there's some that deserve it. That's right. I've seen them, really work those trailers, but from a shed sales, from a dealer's perspective, the idea that you are able to sell a product and sit across the table from somebody and have this conversation that we're having, which is, when this swing set gets delivered and gets installed and your kids get home from school, right? It's not going to be a new place to keep your rakes. It's not going to be a new place to fill up with boxes after, with totes after Christmas. All those things are necessary. But like the excitement, the joy, the applause,
You're selling fun.
you're selling fun.
You're selling fun.
You're selling all the good stuff. And like you were saying, Shannon, I mean, yes, the industry is maturing. It is changing. There are people out there who see the doom and gloom because margins are going to get tighter and big companies are going to, be out here looking to acquire smaller companies, and there's going to be competition and people are going to fail. Right. But like, this is a product that diversifies that offering. It increases your margins, and you get to sit across the table from people, and you get to have the sunny face.
Yeah.
Right.
You get to be the voice that tells somebody, like, can you imagine when those 3 kids get off the bus and, our guy has just put that together? My goodness,
Right.
Municipalities, places like that. But one thing that really strikes me, and I bet you see a lot of this, churches.
Yeah.
We are a very faith-filled industry.
Yes, we are.
You hear people talk about the Lord everywhere we go, both on air and off air. Those are conversations. Kids love play sets at churches. Everybody here goes to church. Everybody here who's listening. I'm just saying there's opportunity. We'll quit making our hard pitch on how fun it is. We believe in the product, obviously. Let's talk a little bit about the quality, because you guys have made a little bit of changes over the years. Obviously, poly is a phenomenal product, long lasting. So tell us about, like, if people become a dealer, what are they actually getting? What's the quality of the product? What's it look like?
Yeah. So this main structure is made out of what we call a Woodguard product. That can be a little bit hard to explain completely. The company originated out of Oregon, and they started making products in the 1980s. So the company's been around a very long time. In 2018, summer of 2018, the factory burnt to the ground.
Oh, wow.
So the company has since sold to a large billion-dollar company, actually. Woodgrain is the actual company name. But it's a Woodguard product. It's made in Georgia, southern yellow pine. It's treated with yellow wood, not yellow wood, but
Right.
it's called yellow wood.
Yep.
Yellow wood treatment, if you're familiar with that.
YELLA, yellow.
Yeah, yep, yellow wood, southern, right?
So that's how we say it, just naturally.
I wasn't going to say that.
You got to remember, we're
That's
from
why I
the South.
specified it, right?
Everybody susses us out quickly whenever we're up here up north. They're like, "You're from down south, aren't you?" Yes, sir.
So then the product goes through some molding that we do to it, and then it goes into an extruder, and we put plastic. The simple way to explain it is you put a hard plastic and a stretch wrap mixed together is the result that you get. So you get a plastic that's got some flexibility to it, so that if the wood cracks, warps, any of those types of things, which it doesn't much because it's a confined environment, it can move and give to that. We put a coating of that on the outside. And that's what's used for our structural part of it. And then we use tangent poly for our rail slats. Big fan of Tangent. Love their stuff. And then we source our other plastic components. We own our own slide mold for some of the slides. Get those molded. That's a cool process, rotomolding. So yeah, that's the structural integrity of the product. We use all stainless steel hardware.
Let's say hardware. I know you guys do stainless, so like obviously outside.
Yeah,
it's
not rusting.
Right.
Yep. Steel components are made here locally. We have a steel manufacturer that makes everything on his plasma and all that jazz.
Cool job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, that's the quality part of it. The canvases. We own another company next door. We have a blind, a window shade company that does a lot of different custom sewing and they still make our tarps. So we sew those,
Nice.
another company that we own as well. So
Very,
Yeah.
very like, I mean, the whole process. And I've been lucky enough to be here at your facility a couple of different times. And obviously for those who become dealers, that's, I'm sure, open for them to come up and,
Yeah.
they receive training,
Anytime.
they receive,
Yeah.
support. Like, and I got to thinking about that. So we were talking about this, as we were thinking about like even our endeavors,
Mhm.
like we want to help, dealers. That's why we want to sign people up. We believe that adding a product line helps dealers. So it became a simple no-brainer for us to do this. And we were lucky enough that you guys have two products that we're eyeballing, which is playsets and hunting blinds. As we're talking about the playset specifically, obviously that's been your flagship. You've been around longer in that area. What does it look like? I'm trying to think of like questions that a dealer might have. Let's go with all the quote unquote hard questions. What does this cost me? What does it look like?
To become a dealer.
Yeah.
You're looking at a minimum of about a $10,000 investment. That's the minimum. I like to see more than that. And I like to see, we say 3. I like to see 5. I like to see 10
Display models.
Yeah. And, you're talking about real estate. And so we're willing to work with you there on barns. You're taking it away from your barn display. We get that. So, where can we put them that it's not? We can't hide these suckers. They got to be up front.
That's right. They need to be.
Who hides the candy? The grumpy grandma, right? So don't be her.
Right.
So we talked through that, but a minimum is in that 10,000 range.
So I become a dealer. I invest $10,000. I get some displays out there. How do the displays get to me?
Yeah, good question. Good old shipping question. That is one that can go a lot of different ways. We ship stuff LTL. We do direct shipments, like a dedicated truck. We have trucking companies. We have local what we call hot shots. We ship on hot shots. We have people that come and get their own. One thing that we've focused on is our packaging. We have endeavored to make our packaging so that if we ship it to a customer, they can hand unload it. Now, hand unload it, there's items that are heavy. There's items that both people are going to be picking up 100 pounds a piece. Our beam is strong. It's 4 2x6s. And they have the coatings on them. So it's not like picking up 4 treated 2x6s.
Right.
It's got coating on top of that yet, and they're 12 feet long, 14 feet long, 10 feet long. That's probably the heaviest piece. But the other boxes we try to keep them around 80 pounds. So everything comes in a way that people can unload them by hand if needed. Obviously, we would prefer to do things the easy way. Why not? Forklifts, bobcats.
Yeah, right.
And a lot of people do, especially the manufacturers.
Right.
If it's coming to the facility, they have all those things, and that could probably be, I don't want to say a point of contention, but a point of concern for somebody who says, you know what, I want to be a dealer, I want to jump into this. Like, I don't know what that has to look like. I've been here to watch the assembly of some of these things, and a lot of these things are very simple. If you have a bit of know-how, a bit of ingenuity, and you know what, if you're a salesperson who has a bit of drive, like I know people come pick up a shed, goes on a truck, you don't see it, right? They go take care of it. The hauler does all the hard work.
Yeah.
Us dealers, we don't really, have to do any of the hard work. So there's a little bit of, ingenuity involved here. There's a little bit of like the dream is free, but the hustle's sold separate. You're going to have to work just a little bit, but when we talk about those margins, I don't see how that's not worth it. I mean, there's even in my opinion, there's margins in there to even hire help, to do this, but I'll digress from that. What do you see? I mean, most dealers do, they get these things LTL'd in, and they're able to set these things up in, a day or two, or, I mean, if
one day easily. Yeah. So we provide, installation instructions for them. We also, have jigs, that are quick helps with making things to hold boards in specific places. We also have designed a wheel set for the play sets that you can literally put the set on wheels, pull it in like a wagon, and drop it and slap the other items on, and you're gone.
Right.
So on average, our install guys spend about an hour on the job.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
But then they build it here, so you have to build it.
Right,
so
right.
A lot of dealers do what we just talked about right there, and then they have their salesperson or somebody else build it either before the lot opens or a lot of shed lots don't open till 10 o'clock. Well, guess what? There's 3 hours in the morning there that you could have done something. I guess if you could get up at that time, but maybe not everybody does. But
it's going to set
we're
you
an Amish
apart
country,
too,
right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, right.
It's going to set you apart too as a dealer, and like that's the question I have for you in 2026. Is the idea going to be I'm just going to sell more sheds with minimal effort in terms of hope that the manufacturer brings me more inventory, and does that always relate to more sales, or am I going to diversify my product offering, add value by creating these different reasons for people to stop by as they're driving by? I mean, that's going to catch your eye every time you go by. I mean, not to mention just your online marketing and things like that. And you guys do a lot of good dealer support. You do training. I've been here for your dealer event. Like I think you guys gave away like a couple of play sets, and
we give 5 play sets away every year.
Yeah. So you come to the event, you get to hear a speaker, you get to eat good food, and you know what? You just may leave with a free play set. Margins are even better on those, just in case you're keeping track.
No joke. No joke.
But and I've just known the way that you guys operate for a long time. I've actually worked with you hand in hand. So I know the support that you guys provide. Let's talk about the hunting blinds a little bit.
Yeah.
I know you and your dad are hunters.
Yep. We love to hunt.
So that kind of stemmed the desire for you guys to be into this world. But what does the hunting blind side look like? Obviously your flagship product has been your play sets for a long time, but you're really trying to grow this market. And you know what? It seems easy to grow because everybody's a hunter nowadays. Did I just pull a Donald Trump? Everybody's a hunter. Yeah, they're all hunter. Everybody's shooting the deer. I don't know what it is. I don't do good impressions, but you guys are passionate about the hunting side as well.
Yeah. So the part of the reason behind that is when young people get out into the nature and into the woods, and God has given us a lot of cues and a lot of things here on earth to give us life examples. And so that's partly, that is one of the things that's driving that. And today we see a lot of people stuck sitting on their phone, screen time. I just had a conversation with that about with somebody last week, and anyway, the statistics of some of that stuff is crazy.
Yeah.
But now we have people that they go sit in our luxury hunting blinds and they can be on the phone all the time. And they can watch a video, and they
like your dad, right?
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we're defeating the purpose here. No,
well, he had to walk into the woods at least.
Yeah, at least he did. Right. Yeah. So anyway, the drive behind the hunting blinds started that is we've hunted for years and we enjoyed hunting out of hunting blinds, and we bought hunting blinds from multiple different manufacturers, and we weren't happy with the way they were made. And there was one feature of this blind that we liked and one feature of that blind that we liked, and yet we weren't happy with it. So we decided one year we need several hunting blinds for ourselves, and so we decided to build those the way we wanted to build them. And so we did, and there was several employees that were on board with that as well. And so we made, I don't know how many hunting blinds, but it was quite a few. And from that is where we decided to market the hunting blinds. We look back now at the blinds that we made then, and we're sorry. They have evolved majorly since then. The whole window system has evolved where we we have special products that are made exclusively for us, for those windows. They're not readily available on the market today. You can't go to Menards and buy it. You can't go to Lowe's and buy it. You can't go to Keim Lumber or Holmes Lumber and buy local stuff. It's it's specific products that we've gotten designed for the window, so that it functions the way it does. So
whisper quiet.
It's silent. I mean, it you can open and close that thing with deer right there. And the best part is it's tempered glass. It's not plexiglass. So you get a clear mirrored image and it won't distort. Plastic distorts. So the only negative is if you take your gun and you get too excited and you don't open the window, then things don't go well.
True of any window.
Yeah. So that's the side of the hunting blinds. I'm going to be straight up front. It's an LP Smart Side, with wood frame. And in the barn industry, we come to the shed show. We have guys that come up to us and they're like, "Oh, I can make that," and I grant it. Like, you've got that stuff sitting in your lumber sheds. So, we're using the exact same products. I will say we've figured a few things out on the roof. We figured a few things out on angles that normally aren't in mini barns. But any construction guy can do it. So, from that aspect, it's like, why are we selling a hunting blind? But they aren't finishing them. So
we are debating having a sign hung in our offices that says there will be a 10% increase for those who say I can build it cheaper myself upon their return, because anything that you do for a living, you get better at than someone who does it recreationally. Of course, nothing saying you can't build your own hunting blind. Nothing saying you can't build them and sell them. What you can't do is do it more efficiently in most cases than most you guys are doing it here. And your margins, the barn and shed industry yourself. So you understand the cost. And you know what? The margins are still better than a shed. Maybe not as good as a playset, but even selling hunting blinds, FYI, margins are still better than if you're selling sheds. So you may not have to sell as many. You're not going to sell as many. I think there's an acknowledgement that the practicality of storage is probably more of a need purchase, or what appears to be a need purchase, as opposed to fun, which is play sets and hunting blinds. But it's still a worthy product to have to add to your line of what you're selling already. I mean, we're seeing utility trailers, right? Really start to hit the market pretty heavy. I mean, obviously carports have been around for a long time. You see furniture, you see a lot of guys getting into post frame, pole barn. I've even heard about people getting into red iron that get really, really deep into selling the on-site built structures. Customer acquisition time is much higher. You got to spend a couple of days with people. You really got to plan these things out, but why not have these things also available to a customer? It's a relatively low investment, if you're a dealer or if you're a manufacturer. Like I said, I really, really, really want to harp on those. You want to do a solid for your top 5 salespeople and you're a 60 lot company, give people something to aim for. Buy those top 5 producing shed sellers, 5 or 10 play sets, watch them go, watch them sell them. And then it's going to motivate, at your next dealer day, those dealers that are 6 through 10. You might not motivate the 11 through 50s.
Right.
I get it. But those 6 through 10s are going to be like, you know what? We want some of that free product that you guys are going to sell. And you figure out the margins, but it just adds to, and guess what? Your top 5 salespeople, they're going to sell pizzas if you put them on the lot. It doesn't matter what it is, because they're salespeople and they're going to figure out a way. I'm a fan. I have been. I got to see the assembly at the dealer day that we came to and that we spoke at. So I'm excited to become, a hunting blind dealer. We are in Southern Illinois. We're right there in deer country, right? We're right there in an area where people want to hunt. You even got a couple of influencers, I think, that have pushed a few of your things. You know what? I got a couple of buddies that if they're not influencers, they're redneck enough to be entertaining. I promise you. And we're going to get them on video because they are fun. So we're excited about, the product. We're excited about partnering with you guys. We want serious people. We want people. I say we want serious people, but we also want people who want to have fun.
Yeah.
Like, this is a fun product to sell.
Yeah. You want serious people who are serious about sales. And
Intentional.
I'll tell you, intentional about sales. And, again, just back to buyers aren't rational, right? Like people, no buyer is. Like, we can trick ourselves, and we can sort of build up all of these rationales for why we bought something, right? But like, buyers are emotional, and there's nothing in this world that is easier to sell at a better margin than fun. That's why Ferraris are red, right? And they go fast and they're worth a lot of money, right? Like, whatever it is, right? Like, and so, I think an underrated aspect here, of this sort of total prop, as we were kind of discussing before, the other thing that we've been kind of like talking about on the podcast is the continued development of the digital tools. We know that the digital customer is becoming more and more important,
right,
in everything, but even in these sort of classic, very firmly rooted in stuff, lumber, construction, even these customers, are becoming more and more digitally based. And so we know we have 3D Builder for sheds, right, which is a great tool. It produces volume. It produces better leads. You and I have been big advocates for RealWorks Labs. I think that their map the interactiveness of it is a great tool that allows customers to, have an interactive way to validate your company, to zoom in.
To see all the locations that your home service provider has operated in, whether you're an HVAC, whether you're selling sheds. You know what? Selling hunting blinds, you're selling playsets. You can show like, hey, we've delivered 20 playsets in your neighborhood. You just didn't know it,
right? Same idea. But I think that one thing that you had just said kind of casually that I was like, really? So you have a 3D builder for the playsets. Well, to me, if you're a dealer out there, or even one of the bigger manufacturers with dealer locations who's providing a 3D builder to your dealers or whatever, if you have a website that is now starting to stack up tools, you've got a shed 3D builder, maybe you have RealWorks Labs, maybe not, we like it, but whatever. And then you have a playset builder, you are now getting people who are captured, entertained, interactive on your website. Like, if you don't think that is your best customer, then you don't understand the way that people build relationships in 2026. Because if I'm spending that much time on your website, I'm your best customer, right? Like, I now feel like I know you, whether we've ever met or not. And so, like, that tool that lives on there is out here building relationships for you, building people's imagined future for them, right? Without you ever having to speak to them. You talk about a good margin.
Solves a lot of problems too.
Yeah.
It solves a lot of problems in terms of visibility. When you talk about using the 5 senses of selling, visual, like video just changes things. And whenever you can get on there and you can say, well, we're thinking about putting a tower here or adding a rock climbing wall here, or we want to do that. Well, why don't we just see what that looks like? Right. Just the same way as a shed. Let's take a look. And it gets more buy-in from the customer. And you can do this on Zoom, right? Like, you don't even have to do this in person, but you can.
Right.
I mean, like, you can dream with the customer if that's what they're doing. And you know what? That's all you got to do. It's like, hey, what do you think your kids are going to like the best? Let's try this out. Let's try this rock wall. Let's try this slide. Let's try this or whatever. You can build it out. You can see it. And I think we all know that the visibility, changes the nature of things. That's why 3D configurators work. That's why they're one of the best, like you said, a lead capture, tools that exist. You guys even offer some support, some mild support. You've talked to us about like getting into that more. You run some leads. You have your website. You run some organic traffic. You give leads to the dealers when they're in that region. So you're spending the money to help your dealers be successful, whether they're spending money on their own online platform or not. You believe in your product. I mean, you guys are all in. You're 33 years in. What do you want a dealer to know? If there's someone even on the cusp, if there's someone on the fence here, you've been doing this a long time. We're going to try to push your product. We're going to give it our best here at Shed Geek. But what do you, David Hershberger, want dealers to know whenever they become a provider of Playmore play sets and Stryker hunting blinds? What's some of the most important things for you?
When your business depends on getting materials fast, you can't afford to wait around. At Three Oaks Trading Company, we get it. Your production schedule moves fast, and so do we. From studs, SPF, and SYP, to all your panels, siding, and flooring. Square edge or tongue and groove, OSB or plywood, we're stocked, ready, and delivering across the U.S., often in just 3 to 5 business days. Our team specializes in serving shed builders and manufacturers, providing the products you need when you need them. Because your next build shouldn't be waiting on a delivery truck. So if you're ready for reliable service, quick turnaround, and a partner who understands your business, reach out to Three Oaks Trading Company today. Call 833-214-1723 or visit threeoakstradingco.com to get started. Three Oaks Trading Company. Fast, dependable, built for builders.
Yeah, I would say number one, you're becoming a partner, not a purchaser. That's number one. We want to take care of you the way we take care of our friends. That's our models. Hopefully, that's good in most cases.
Yeah, yeah, right, right.
The number two thing is that I like to talk about is it is a lot of fun to sell something to somebody, two things to one person. So you might write a shed order, and the next month you wrote the playset order, and it's the same person, and you grow that customer.
Lifetime
that acquisition grows bigger and bigger. So, yeah, I like to talk about that. Growing margins are there. On the hunting blind side, that's huge. I mean, I've got multiple people that I don't know if I have anybody that's over 20 yet hunting blinds, but I know I have 17. I have an 18-ish. I'm talking one person with that many blinds.
Units. Oh, right. Units sold to a single
hunter. To a single hunter.
Right.
Correct. And so, you're not making, that guy, for instance, he just buys 3-4 a year.
Yeah.
And then just adds and stacks and stacks and stacks.
Yeah.
So, it's a repeat customer. It's not quite as good as you need hamburger buns every week or eggs and milk every week, but it's close to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so.
Well, it sounds like once you climb into a Stryker hunting blind, you're never getting up in a ladder stand again. Like this guy, this guy is like, oh my goodness, I'm only hunting in these things. So that's awesome.
Right. So that is important. And the other thing that I want people to know is that we're here for you, and we're going to help you figure it out. And if it doesn't work for you, it's okay. That's the other side. Yeah. In life, not everything is for everybody. We think that, selling swing sets and hunting blinds is the best thing ever. It's a lot of fun, and we've had a lot of fun doing it and a lot of success doing it. But at the end of the day, it's not for everybody. And so let's have an honest conversation. Let's talk about that. And if it is for you, great. And if you try it and it doesn't work and we explore every avenue to make it work and it doesn't work, it's okay. Guess what? We're still going to be friends. So I think those are probably the main things that I want, or that I like to communicate with people. So,
well, I'm excited about 2026. I'm excited about talking with you guys more about this value proposition. I think it's a no-brainer for those who own independent lots, who are willing to invest in their self. You're not just investing into a product that you could move for the customer. You're investing in yourself. You're a professional salesperson.
Right.
You can move these things. You just have to change your approach. Maybe it's a little bit different approach than it is to selling sheds. But man, when we talk about those margins, that gets me excited because you can put in a fourth of the work, but you could still make the same money. So it's really just about like identifying who your target market is. I feel like, I hate using this phrase, but they sell themselves when it comes to hunting blinds. But I think in many ways, it's an easier sell than even the shed because
it is.
The people know what they want. It's just a matter of like, I'm going to get a hunting blind. Where am I going to get it from? Who's got it available, and who's going to provide that customer service for me? Play sets. I think you got to go in a little bit farther because the kids always want them, but it's just a matter of like getting mom and dad to understand that the release of the bunny for the joy that they're going to have is going to be far greater than just a phone or a new digital gadget.
Yeah.
Right.
And for the comfort and compared to what some people have hunted, even luxury, I would describe these.
This is luxury.
Yeah.
It's got carpet on the inside.
Right.
The entire thing.
Like you can lay down and sleep if you get bored of hunting.
but for that comfort and luxury, even, there's obviously so much work that's gone into the design. They're incredibly naturalistic. I mean, I just noticed that, I don't know if there's any right angles, right? And that's on purpose, right? Because there's not right angles in the woods. I was just looking at it. I had to take a phone call and was walking around one of them and just noticed like they've been very intentional. So anyway, I just want to point that out. Like this isn't just a Cadillac for the sake of a Cadillac, right? Like it is very well thought out to kill deer, to have successful hunts. And I think that craftsmanship and the innovation you had mentioned earlier, well, I could make that. Well, the innovation, like you said, the angles, the cuts, the way that you join things to seal it while also keeping the look that actually works. Innovation's hard won.
Right.
And like you said, these look a lot different. So that I just want to make that point because I had just been outside before we started the podcast and noticed that you said something earlier about a guy setting one out and then just a couple days later. What were you saying there?
Yeah, so we had a guy this year that bought a property and was not able to, like, he bought it. He had closing 2 days before the season started.
Right.
And he was able to do a little scouting, so he knew what he was doing there. The people had let him do that. But he couldn't put any blinds on before. So 2 days before the season started, he went and put his blind out. He installed 2 blinds. 2 blinds on that property. And 2 days later in the morning, he shot an over 200-inch whitetail out of there.
An old wily one who should have known not to walk next to his stand.
Yeah, I should have known not to. Yeah, it was a big deer. Big deer.
That's awesome. That just kind of speaks to exactly that.
And it wasn't a high fence. I'm not talking high fence. I'm talking wild Ohio whitetails.
We got a couple of those high fences down there in our area.
Hey, we'll sell the high fences. I just
we got a couple of those guys that's been pretty successful bringing baseball players down and serving it right up to them. But I'll tell you what, people just love sport,
right?
People love their kids, and that's why they love play sets. I don't want.
That's why I love the hunting blinds. Rylan is 6.
Yeah,
he goes hunting with me almost every time.
Yeah,
and we have a nice time together. We've spent more time in a hunting blind this year than we would have ever spent in a tree stand.
Few people have memories from a garden shed that holds your Christmas supplies and your rakes and your water hoses.
That's right.
A lot of people have memories left over from hunting blinds and play sets. So to me, I think I said this to you from the very first moment. It's the reason why I'm saying the word 100 times in this episode. You're selling fun. Everybody likes to have fun. It seems like a simple product. It's just a matter of like, as you're sitting back debating this for yourself as a shed dealer, are you willing to commit to yourself? Are you willing to invest in yourself? It means investing in your ability to move these things. People want these things. It's just a matter of you becoming the professional shed seller you are and taking the risk of saying, I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to invest in something. They're going to sell. It's just a matter of like finding your customer. It's way more fun than selling a shed. So it's really that simple for me. We can't wait to become dealers. We're excited about 2026 and being exclusive partners for Stryker Hunting Blinds and Playmore. Any final thoughts that you want to give to the industry? Any shout outs? Just anything at all that you want to share? Questions, comments, death threats?
No, I don't think I have anything.
Okay.
No, I think we're good. I look forward to 2026. I think it's going to be a good year in the shed industry and in playsets and blinds. I look forward to it. Go close some big deals, and like I say, when I close out my sales, something, go have fun and sell something.
That's right. Well, we can't wait. We want to sell something for you. If you're a dealer and you want to find out more, if you call David, tell him the Shed Geek sent you. If you don't, just give us a holler. We're ready to work for your business. We're ready to show you guys how much fun it can be selling Playmore, swing sets, and Stryker hunting blinds. I believe in what you guys do. Thank you guys for having me up here, getting to speak. A half a year ago, it was just so nice to meet your family, but really your work family, extended family through your dealer network, and everybody was so kind. The food was good, and the company was better, and we just thank you guys. Thank you that you guys are Jesus first company. There's just a fight against that so much in today's culture, and that is who we are. And so we want to celebrate that, and we say thank you for that, and your dad for having the vision, to be able to do this. I think he's just a warm guy who has a true heart to want to help people. And I don't want to oversell what we're doing here today. I just believe in what you guys are doing. Excited to be partners with you. If you're somebody who wants to add these lines of products to your sales lot, give us a call. We'll work for you. So good. Thank you, David. Appreciate you being on today.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Shed Pro, for being the Shed Geeks studio sponsor. If you need any more information about Shed Pro or about Shed Geek, just reach out. You can reach us by email at info@shedgeek.com or just go to our website, www.shedgeek.com, and submit a form with your information, and we'll be in contact right away. Thank you again for listening, as always, to today's episode of the Shed Geek Podcast. Thank you, and have a blessed day.